Hello penguins, it's story time again. Today we're going to read about another animal. And today's animal is actually a sea creature. No, it's not a shark. It's not a baby shark. It's That's right, you guessed it right. It's the Seahorse. Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. Look at that. Beautiful rainbow seahorses. Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. Ooh! I wonder what's happening to Mrs. Seahorse. It's time for me to lay my egg, she said. Oh, can I help? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse. And she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. I'll take good care of your eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise. So she put all her eggs in Mr. Seahorse's tummy. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed by a group of trumpet fish hidden in the patch of reeds. What? Can you find the trumpet fish? I don't see any trumpet fish, do you? Peekaboo! There they are. They're hiding. Let's count the trumpet fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 trumpet fish. I didn't even see them there. They were camouflaged. They were hiding. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Delighted, replied Mr. Stickleback. I've just built my nest and right away Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs in it. Now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. Oh, keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam away. Look, he's carrying the babies. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a lionfish hidden behind the coral reef. Can you find the lionfish? I don't see any lionfish. Peekaboo! There it is. There's the lionfish. I didn't even see it there. It was camouflaged. It was hiding. Oop. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia had laid her eggs, and now you're taking care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. Oh, you must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a pair of leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. I don't see any fish, do you? Peekaboo, there they are. 2 leaf fish. 1 and 2. Very good. I didn't see them. They were hiding. They were camouflaged. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtis? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Perfectly fine, replied Mr. Curtis. This is Mr. Curtis. Mrs. Curtis had laid her eggs, and now I have stuck them on my head. There's the eggs on his head. Now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. You are doing a good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. He's upside down. Silly Mr. Seahorse. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a stonefish hidden behind a rock. Can you find a stonefish there? I don't see any stonefish. Do you? Ooh, there it is! Peekaboo! There's the stonefish. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see him. He was camouflaged. He was hiding. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Couldn't be better, replied Mr. Pipe. Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly, and now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. You should feel proud of yourself, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. There are the eggs on his belly. Fish are different, aren't they? They lay their eggs in weird places. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Tip-top, replied Mr. Bullhead. Mrs. Bullhead had laid her eggs, and her eggs hatched, and now I'm babysitting. Look at all those baby fish. You are doing a great job, Mr. Seahorse, Mr. Seahorse said, and he swam away. And the time has come for the seahorse babies to be born. Ooh, uh-oh, look at that. At last the babies tumbled out of Mr. Seahorse's pouch and swam away. One baby turned around and tried to get back into the pouch. Oh no, said Mr. Seahorse, I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own. Look at them come out of his pouch. Baby seahorses. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a lot of seahorses. And let's see. There they are. Ta-da! And that's the end of the story. Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed finding those hidden fish, the fish that were hiding. And